you noticed how certain moments refuse to leave your mind? A strange feeling follows you. A door closes without warning. A familiar face disappears. A plan that looked perfect suddenly falls apart. At first, it feels like life is taking something away from you. But what if those empty spaces are not punishment? What if they are making room? There is a reason this message found you today. Not because life is easy, not because everything is finally going your way, but because somewhere beyond everything you can currently see, a change has already begun. Someone is coming to change your life, not because they will rescue you, but because they will awaken something inside you that has been waiting for the right moment. Before that meeting happens, however, you must become the person capable of recognizing it. That is where many people lose hope. They expect miracles to arrive before preparation, yet God often prepares the person long before introducing the opportunity. The waiting season is never empty. It is a silent workshop where your character is being strengthened, your patience is being tested, your vision is becoming clearer, and your heart is learning the difference between temporary excitement and lasting purpose. You have survived disappointments that should have destroyed your confidence. You have carried burdens that nobody applauded. You have continued walking through seasons where nothing made sense. Those experiences were not random chapters. They became the foundation of someone who can handle what is coming next. Remember this: the strongest bridges are built before anyone crosses them. In the same way, God shapes people in private before their purpose becomes visible. Every rejection taught you discernment. Every delay taught you endurance. Every lonely night taught you that your strength could not depend on applause. That is why you are still standing while others who looked stronger gave up. You were never being buried. You were being planted. There is an enormous difference between the two. Most people spend their lives searching for someone who will change everything around them. Chosen people discover something different. The right person does not merely change your circumstances. They change your perspective. They remind you of the greatness you forgot you carried. They challenge the excuses that kept you comfortable. They refuse to let you settle for a smaller version of yourself. Sometimes that person becomes a mentor, sometimes a friend, sometimes a business partner, sometimes a stranger whose words arrive at exactly the right moment. Sometimes they stay for years. Sometimes they appear for only a few minutes. Their importance is not measured by the length of time they remain in your story, but by the direction they leave your life moving afterward. Think about every defining moment in history. Entire generations changed because one conversation happened, one introduction was made, one unexpected meeting opened a door nobody else could see. Your future may not depend on knowing thousands of people. It may depend on becoming ready for one person. That is why bitterness is dangerous. Bitterness blinds you to opportunity. Pride isolates you from wisdom. Desperation causes you to chase the wrong people while overlooking the right ones. God's timing rarely follows human impatience. When the moment is right, connections happen naturally because preparation has already been completed. Until then, your assignment is not to chase everyone. It is to become someone worthy of the opportunities you are praying for. Read more. Learn constantly. Heal deeply. Build discipline when nobody is watching. Protect your integrity even when compromise seems profitable. Develop skills that make you valuable. Strengthen your mind until criticism no longer controls your emotions. Wealth begins long before money appears. Real abundance begins with clear thinking, emotional stability, wise decisions, and unwavering discipline. A wealthy mindset understands that opportunities are attracted by preparation, not wishful thinking. Every day you improve yourself, you quietly move closer to the people who belong in your future. Never underestimate the invisible progress taking place inside you. Mountains move long before the world notices the landscape has changed. There is another truth many people avoid because it demands courage. The person coming to change your life may first challenge your comfort. Growth rarely arrives wrapped in convenience. Imagine a blacksmith shaping steel. Fire comes before strength. Pressure comes before precision. Friction comes before beauty. Your life follows the same pattern. Sometimes the greatest gift another person offers is not encouragement but honesty. They refuse to accept the version of you that keeps hiding behind fear. They remind you that excuses can become comfortable prisons. They expose habits that silently sabotage your future. At first, correction feels uncomfortable. Later, it becomes the reason your entire life changed. That is why humility is one of the greatest strengths a chosen person can possess. Humility keeps learning after success. Humility listens before reacting. Humility understands that wisdom can arrive through unexpected voices. The proud believe they already know enough. The wise remain teachable forever. Ask yourself a difficult question. If the opportunity you have been praying for arrived tomorrow, would your current habits be capable of sustaining it? If the relationship that could transform your future appeared today, would your emotional maturity protect it or destroy it? If extraordinary wealth entered your life overnight, would your discipline multiply it or waste it? These are not questions designed to create fear. They create awareness. God prepares people by strengthening the foundation before increasing the responsibility. The unseen work inside you is always more important than the visible rewards outside you. Success without character becomes a burden. Influence without wisdom becomes dangerous. Power without purpose becomes empty. That is why your preparation matters more than your impatience. Every quiet decision to stay honest, every morning you choose discipline over distraction. Every moment you replace resentment with growth. You are becoming someone capable of carrying greater blessings without losing yourself. Never forget this quote. Your future does not begin when opportunity knocks. It begins the day your character becomes ready to answer. Perhaps you have wondered why certain people walked away from your life without explanation. Maybe you questioned why doors closed just when they seemed ready to open. Looking backward, those moments looked painful. Looking forward, they may become proof of protection. Not every goodbye is a loss. Sometimes it is space being created for someone whose purpose aligns with yours. Life often removes what no longer fits before introducing what truly belongs. Imagine trying to fill an overflowing cup. Nothing new can enter until something old is released. Your heart works the same way. If it remains occupied by resentment, regret, comparison, or fear, it becomes difficult to recognize genuine opportunity when it finally arrives. Healing is not forgetting the past. Healing is refusing to let the past write the ending of your story. The strongest people are not those who never experienced heartbreak. They are the ones who refused to become heartless because of it. Continue believing in people without becoming naive. Continue trusting your purpose without becoming arrogant. Continue expecting good without demanding instant results. Hope is not weakness. Hope is disciplined courage, facing uncertainty with confidence. Every sunrise quietly announces that darkness has limits. Every seed buried beneath the soil reminds us that invisible growth is still growth. Every river reaching the ocean teaches persistence. Nature itself whispers the same lesson repeatedly. Timing matters. The tree does not apologize for growing slowly, because it knows strong roots require patience. Neither should you. What belongs to your destiny cannot be rushed without risking the very thing you are trying to build. Trust the process enough to keep becoming better while the future quietly moves toward you. One day, perhaps sooner than you imagine, you will look back and realize that the life-changing moment did not begin when someone finally entered your story. It began when you decided to stop doubting your own value. It began when you chose discipline over comfort, purpose over popularity, wisdom over impulse, and faith over fear. That inner transformation made every future connection possible. The person coming to change your life will recognize something that already exists within you. They will not create your purpose. They will reveal it more clearly. They will not manufacture your strength. They will awaken the strength that hardship has been quietly building for years. Walk forward with confidence, not because every answer has appeared, but because every challenge has already proven you are capable of becoming more than yesterday's version of yourself. Let your heart remain open, your standards remain high, your discipline remain consistent, and your hope remain alive. Continue preparing as though opportunity is already searching for your address. Continue growing as though your future is watching every decision you make today. Continue believing that your story is larger than your current circumstances. Because sometimes the greatest turning point in a person's life arrives without noise. It begins with one meeting, one conversation, one decision, one act of courage, one moment of readiness, and when that moment finally arrives, you will understand something extraordinary. The person who changes your life is able to do so because, long before they appeared, you allowed every hidden season to change you first. That is the quiet power of a chosen life, not waiting to become extraordinary after the breakthrough, but becoming extraordinary before it arrives. There is something else you must understand before that life-changing connection enters your story. The person who is coming will not arrive to complete you. They will arrive to amplify who you have become. Too many people spend years waiting for someone to rescue them from loneliness, uncertainty, or failure. But the people who create extraordinary lives discover a different truth. Rescue is temporary. Transformation is permanent. God never intended your identity to depend on another person's approval. Your confidence cannot be borrowed. Your purpose cannot be outsourced. Your destiny cannot be carried by someone else's shoulders. That is why this season has felt so demanding. It has forced you to stand alone long enough to discover that your strength was never as fragile as you believed. Every silent battle you fought became another layer of resilience. Every unanswered question sharpened your wisdom. Every setback refined your perspective. You thought you were losing time, but in reality, you were gaining depth, and depth changes everything. Surface-level people attract surface-level opportunities. Deep character attracts meaningful relationships, lasting influence, and doors that cannot be opened through charm alone. This is why the waiting has been so valuable. You are not simply preparing to meet someone remarkable. You are becoming someone remarkable yourself. Think of an eagle soaring high above a storm. While smaller birds flee from dark clouds, the eagle rises with the very winds others fear. The storm becomes its advantage instead of its limitation. Your challenges have served the same purpose. What tried to intimidate you has secretly been training you. Rejection taught you independence. Delays taught you endurance. Disappointments taught you discernment. Loss taught you gratitude. Silence taught you to hear your own thoughts instead of living by the opinions of the crowd. These lessons cannot be purchased, inherited, or rushed. They must be lived. That is why many people admire strength without understanding its cost. They see confidence but never witness the nights of uncertainty that built it. They see discipline but never notice the countless temptations that had to be overcome. They see success but overlook the years of invisible preparation. Remember this asterisk: the greatest victories are always invisible before they become undeniable. Asterisk: never compare your hidden preparation to someone else's public celebration. Every masterpiece spends more time being crafted than being displayed. Your life follows the same principle. Now, imagine that somewhere another person is also being prepared. They may not know your name. They may have never seen your face. Yet they are growing through their own challenges, learning their own lessons, overcoming their own fears. Just as you are being shaped into the person you must become, they are being shaped into the person they must become. This is the beauty of divine timing. It is not only about preparing opportunities, it is about preparing people. If two lives connect too early, they may destroy what they were meant to build together. If they meet too late, valuable seasons may be missed. But when preparation and timing finally intersect, extraordinary things become possible. This is why impatience often becomes the greatest enemy of destiny. People force relationships, careers, partnerships, and decisions before their character is ready to sustain them. What begins with excitement often ends in regret because the foundation was incomplete. Patience is not passive waiting. Patience is active preparation. It is choosing growth while the future quietly moves closer. It is believing that every disciplined decision today creates possibilities tomorrow that cannot yet be seen. You have probably asked yourself why certain doors closed so suddenly. Why did opportunities disappear after coming so close? Why did people promise loyalty only to disappear without explanation? At first, these experiences feel deeply personal. They tempt you to question your worth. But not every closed door is rejection. Sometimes it is redirection. Sometimes it is protection. A key that does not fit one door is not broken. It was simply designed for another lock. The same is true for your life. Every place where you did not belong was teaching you where you should stop settling. Every disappointment strengthened your ability to recognize genuine value when it finally appears. Never mistake temporary absence for permanent abandonment. Seasons change, landscapes evolve, and lives transform one decision at a time. The person meant to influence your future may arrive through the most ordinary circumstances. A conversation you almost ignored, a message you almost deleted, a meeting you nearly cancelled, a challenge that forced you into unfamiliar territory. Life-changing moments rarely announce themselves with fireworks. They often whisper before they roar. That is why awareness matters. Stay curious, stay humble, stay ready. Extraordinary opportunities often wear ordinary clothes. There is a quote worth carrying in your heart. Asterisk, preparation whispers while destiny watches. Every morning you choose discipline over excuses. Destiny notices. Every time you refuse to become bitter after disappointment, destiny notices. Every act of integrity, every hour spent learning, every quiet moment of self-control becomes another brick in the foundation of your future. People often believe greatness is built through dramatic moments. In reality, greatness is usually built through ordinary decisions, repeated with extraordinary consistency. Your habits are writing tomorrow's story before tomorrow arrives. The future is not an accident waiting to happen. It is a direction being created by today's choices. That is why you must protect your peace. Guard your focus, invest in your mind, strengthen your body, refine your character. Build skills that remain valuable regardless of changing circumstances. Wealth begins with value. Influence begins with credibility. Leadership begins with self-mastery. The person coming into your life will recognize these qualities because they have been developing them as well. So continue walking forward with quiet confidence. Stop chasing validation from people who cannot recognize your potential. Stop measuring your progress by the speed of someone else's journey. Your assignment is different because your purpose is different. The path of a chosen person is rarely crowded. It is often misunderstood because it requires faith before certainty, discipline before reward, and perseverance before recognition. Yet every step is shaping a future that will eventually make perfect sense. When the right person finally appears, you will not have to abandon who you are to keep them. You will not have to pretend, perform, or shrink your vision. Instead, your strengths will align, your values will complement each other, and your purpose will become even clearer. Until that day arrives, keep becoming the kind of person whose presence changes every room they enter, because in the end, the greatest miracle is not simply that someone is coming to change your life. The greatest miracle is that every hidden season has already been transforming you into someone capable of changing lives, including your own. One day, you will wake up and realize that the waiting was never the story. The becoming was. The person you are praying to meet will matter, but the person you chose to become while waiting will matter even more. You will look back at the sleepless nights, the unanswered questions, the painful endings, and the silent seasons, and instead of seeing wasted time, you will see invisible preparation. Every tear strengthened your vision. Every disappointment refined your character. Every delay protected a future you were not yet ready to carry. What once felt like confusion will become clarity. What once felt like rejection will become direction. And what once felt like loneliness will reveal itself as the place where your strongest foundation was built. Never forget this truth. You were not created to spend your life chasing what was never meant for you. You were created to grow into someone who naturally recognizes what belongs in your destiny. That is the quiet confidence of a chosen life. You no longer panic when doors close, because you know the right door cannot be locked forever. You no longer fear being overlooked, because your value was never determined by human attention. You no longer compare your journey to anyone else's, because you understand that purpose has its own timetable. God is never rushed by the clocks that make people anxious. While the world measures progress by speed, God often measures it by readiness, and readiness always creates a stronger future than hurry ever could. So keep your heart open, but guard your peace. Keep your dreams alive, but strengthen them with discipline. Keep believing, but let your belief be matched by daily action. Continue becoming wiser, kinder, stronger, and more courageous with every sunrise. Speak life over your future. Protect your mind from fear. Refuse to let temporary setbacks convince you that your story has reached its end. The greatest chapters are often written after the moments that almost made people quit. Stand taller than yesterday. Think bigger than yesterday. Love deeper than yesterday. Forgive faster than yesterday. Grow beyond yesterday. Every step forward, no matter how small, is proof that your future is already unfolding, and when that long-awaited moment finally arrives, when the conversation happens, when the opportunity appears, when the right person walks into your life, you will not greet it with desperation. You will greet it with peace. You will recognize that nothing truly meant for your purpose ever needed to be forced. It arrived when your character, your wisdom, and your courage were finally strong enough to embrace it. That moment will not simply change your circumstances. It will confirm everything your hidden seasons were preparing you to become. So walk into tomorrow with your head held high. Let hope become stronger than fear. Let purpose become louder than doubt. Let gratitude become greater than regret. Trust that even when you cannot see the full path ahead, every faithful step still has meaning. Your life is not behind schedule. Your purpose has not been forgotten. Your future has not been cancelled. The story is still unfolding, and some of its most extraordinary pages have not yet been written. Take one last deep breath, and remember this whenever uncertainty tries to steal your peace. Asterisk. You are not waiting because you have been overlooked. You are waiting because you are being prepared. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not too late. You are being shaped for a purpose greater than your present circumstances can reveal. Keep moving. Keep trusting. Keep becoming, because someone is coming to change your life. And when they do, you will discover that God had already been changing you all along. That is why your future should not frighten you. It should inspire you. Your next chapter is not defined by fear. It is defined by purpose. It is defined by growth. It is defined by courage. It is defined by hope. And above all, it is guided by God's perfect timing. Walk forward with confidence. Your story is only beginning.